Can I see another's woe and not be in sorrow too? Can I see another's grief and not seek for kind relief? Can I see a falling tear and not feel my sorrow's share? Can a father see his child weep nor be with sorrow filled? Can a mother sit and hear an infant groan, an infant fear? No, no, never can it be. Never, never can it be. And can he who smiles on all hear the wren with sorrow small, hear the small bird's grief and care, hear the woes that infants bear, and not sit beside the next, pouring pity in their breast, and not sit the cradle near, weeping tear on infants' tear, and not sit both night and day, wiping all our tears away? Oh no, never can it be, never, never can it be. He doth feel the sorrow too. Think not thou canst sigh a sigh, and thy Maker is not far. Think not thou canst weep a tear, and thy Maker is not near. He gives to us his joy, that our grief he may destroy. Till our grief is fled and gone, he doth sit by us and weep. Seeketh not itself to please, nor for itself hath any care, but for another gives it ease, and builds a heaven in hell's despair. So sang a little clod of clay, trodden with the cattle's feet, but a pebble of the brook warbled out these meters meet. Love seeketh only self to please, to bind another to its delight, joys in another's loss of ease, and builds a hell in heaven's despite. Thy summer's play, my thoughtless hand hath brushed away. Am not I a fly like thee? Or art not thou a man like me? For I dance and drink and sing, till some blind hand shall brush my wing. If thought is life, and strength and breath, and the want of thought is death, then am I a happy fly, if I live, or if I die. cave to sleep, I heard among the rushes dank, weeping, weeping. Then I went to the heath and the wine, to the thistles and thorns of the waste, and they told me how they were beguiled, driven out, and compelled to the chase. I went to the garden of love, and saw what I never had seen. A chapel was built in the west, where I used to play at home. The gates of this chapel were shut, and thou shalt not live. So I turned to the garden of love that so many sweet flowers bore. And I saw it was filled with graves and tombstones where flowers
The cherub with his flaming sword is hereby commanded to leave his guard at the tree of life. And when he does, the whole creation will be consumed and appear infinite and holy, whereas it now appears finite and corrupt. This will come to pass by an improvement of sensual enjoyment. first, the notion that man has a body distinct from his soul is to be expunged. This I shall do by printing in the infernal method, like corrosives, which in hell are salutary and medicinal, melting apparent surfaces away and displaying the infinite which was hid. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern.